Forever Evil Rogues Rebellion number 3, written by Brian Buccellato, art by Scott Hepburn and Andre Coelho. So all the rogues got separated from Captain Cold because he's off being in the main book, and then they ended up in Gotham captured by Poison Ivy. So we see Poison Ivy standing over them, and we have Mirror Master is apparently the main narrator now, basically saying like, yeah, I heard this quote this long time ago that there are two ways to give light. One is to be the source of light and the other is to reflect it. And yeah, he considered Lisa to be the source of light and him being the reflection, but now he doesn't know what to do. So at that point, Poison Ivy says, hey, rogues, I've captured you. The crime syndicate, because you've disobeyed them, has put a bounty on your heads, so I could easily collect for that now. And Trickster is immediately just like, oh, hey, Poison Ivy, you've heard of us, the Rogues? Yeah, that's right, I'm a member of the Rogues, too. And immediately Weather was like, dude, stop flirting. She's going to kill us. And Poison Ivy says, no, here's the thing. I'm not going to kill you, so shut up. And he starts, like, strangling Weather Wizard. And as Weather Wizard gets strangled, they all start, like, trying to go in one at a time, attacking Poison Ivy, until Trickster steps up, and he's like, well, hey, now, let's just talk this out. I'm sure a pretty lady like her can understand. And Poison Ivy's like, oh, okay, yeah, I get what you're all about, and she plants a kiss on him, which then immediately poisons him, and he just falls to the ground, like, suffocating, more or less. So all the other rogues are released at that point, and Poison Ivy's like, look, here's the thing. I need your guys' help, more or less. I've carved out my part of Gotham. It is my garden. However, it can't get any sunlight because the crime syndicate has blocked out the sun with the moon. So what I need you all to do, specifically Weather Wizard, because I feel like this is right up your alley, get me sunlight. Give me the ability to give my plants sunlight. And Weather Wizard says, I get why you think that's my job, but like I can't do that. That is outside my power set. And she's like, well, you better figure it out because otherwise Trickster's going to die in like an hour. So at that point, Mirror Master says, wait a minute, hold on. I think I have an idea. So him and Heatwave make their way deeper into Gotham. They're looking for a place, Wayne Tech Fabricators. And essentially, Mirror Master's taking charge here, and Heatwave calls him out for it. Just like, hey, man, whatever, you're in charge. And he's like, what? No, I don't want to be in charge. That's not what I said. And it's like, well, it's what you are. So as they're going through the city, Mirror Master sees a woman walking with two tiny children, and they start getting accosted by some like gang members, some general low-life types. And Mirror Master's like, oh, we have to stop them. They're going to do horrible things to that woman. And then it turns out it's actually ventriloquist, and the little children are just her puppets, and they immediately kill all the gang members. And Heatwave's like, yeah, dude, this is Gotham. Like, everything here sucks. Let them do their own thing. So we go back to the garden, and Weather Wizard is making it rain on the garden, and Poison Ivy's like, hey, that's great. Thank you so much for that. And he's just like, whatever. We're all doomed anyway. And she's like, oh, okay. Are you always this much of a rumor? And he's like, no, my emotions change with the weather. That's kind of part of my power set. And they get to talking for a little bit, but he basically says like, yeah, look, there's no such thing as honor. I don't trust anybody like that. And she's like, if that's the case, why are you even with the rogues? Because like that's kind of their whole thing. So finally, Mirror Master and Heatwave make their way to the Wayne Tech place. Heatwave melts his way in, and they get into a little bit of a conversation about how Heatwave is essentially looking out for himself. He doesn't think anyone's ever going to be coming to save him, more or less, and he's not going to do the same for anyone else. And Mirror Master calls out, like, that's not what the rogues do. We all look out for each other. We're a unit. We're a group. And he's just like, yeah, it's the apocalypse, dude. Things change. So they make their way in, and apparently this is where Mirror Master got something for his mirror gun a long time back. So they're here trying to pick it up again. And they got to be real quiet because they don't know who this area belongs to of Gotham, but they don't want to be caught. So they make their way up. Heatwave isn't holding the ladder steady, though, so Mirror Master almost falls, but ladder falls and it lets out a big clang, letting people know that they are in here. And wouldn't you know it, this place belongs to Man-Bat and his army of Man-Bats. So they swoop in, they start attacking Heatwave and Mirror Master. Mirror Master has the different tools he needs, and as Heatwave gets knocked out, Mirror Master does what he can to try to fight against the Man-Bats. He knocks them into the mirror dimension, but Heatwave gets knocked down, and it looks like Mirror Master is leaving him. It looks like he's leaving Heatwave behind because he's been knocked out. But then Mirror Master comes back, offers him a hand, helps him up, and says, see, we do look after each other. And Heatwave's like, yeah, well, I would have left you. And Mirror Master's like, no, you wouldn't. So we go back to the garden. Mirror Master has this whole plan set up where he's got this giant-ass mirror inside the garden. He's tied a vine from poison ivy around himself so that he doesn't get lost in the mirror dimension or spit out some other place. And as he makes his way in, he searches for a specific reflection from a satellite that is able to still get some level of sunlight. So he uses that. He uses the mirror dimension to get the sunlight bouncing out into the garden. And it works. There is sunlight out in the garden. However, Poison Ivy does not pull him back immediately, and something seems like it's going wrong. Like it seems like he's getting pulled deeper and deeper into the mirror world. So Poison Ivy restrains everyone else. Trickster manages to get in and rescues Mirror Master. The sunlight, of course, stops at that point. And she's like, what? No, my plants need more. That wasn't the deal. The deal was sunlight enough for my plants, and that was nowhere near enough. And Mirror Master's like, all right, well, screw you. You went back. You knew we'd do what we could, but, like, screw you. And Trickster's already fine again as well, so whatever. So at that point, Man-Bats show up because they followed him here, and they... it's an all-out fight. Poison Ivy's basically just like, now, wait a minute, hold on. She's like, lady, we are done with you. You are no longer an issue to us. We're focused on the Man-Bat thing. So they pick up Weather Wizard and start flying him away until finally one of the Man-Bats isn't paying attention and he runs into a giant wall of ice. And turns, as they think it's Captain Cold, because they're like, oh, wall of ice, that's his thing. But nope, turns out it's Mr. Freeze along with Clayface. And it's just like, oh no, I am quite more than just cold. Get it? All right, so I like it. I was kind of hoping that this was going to be like a world traveling thing. Like the first issue was Central City, then it goes to Metropolis, and then it goes to Gotham. But seems like we're just staying in Gotham, at least for the next issue. So, I mean, we already have a book that does that. There's Arkham War going on. I don't know. It's just, once again, this book feels like it doesn't quite have a place. It doesn't have a thing that it really wants to do. It's kind of just saying, hey, here are the rogues. They're not quite as evil as everyone else. What are they up to? And maybe there will be a larger, like, consequence from this book. Maybe there's going to be some big result that we're building up to. Maybe one of the rogues is going to die or something. I don't know. But it doesn't feel like this book quite has a purpose yet. It just feels like another tie-in. So all in all, I'd say that this particular issue wasn't awful. It's kind of standalone on its own, but it's okay. I guess that's the best way to say it, is it's a 6.5. It's okay. It's not great. It's just kind of doing its own thing. But to put the Forever Evil logo on it and say this is a thing to find out what's happening in this part of the world, it just feels like straight tie-in cash grab. So, yeah, not great.